It has been officially confirmed that Ai Ogura will be in MotoGP next season, riding for Trackhouse Racing on board a latest spec Aprilia for the next 2 seasons. A big surprise to many, this move, but in the past few weeks it has been rumoured that this was the deal that was going to be done, and yeah, Ogura turned down Honda and he's going to ride a factory Aprilia, which I think is a really good step for Ogura. He's a great rider. I think he's shown that throughout his time in his Grand Prix career. He becomes the first rider from the Asia Talent Cup to make it all the way to MotoGP, which is a pretty cool stat for him. He actually mentioned that to me personally when I interviewed him for Crash.net on the website at Silverstone. If you want to read that, I'll link it below. A really good chat with Ai. You know, if you're kind of unsure about who he is or what his journey has been, give it a read. You'll understand how he's got to this point. You know, he's going to be a MotoGP rider for the future, and yeah, a really nice chat about his move from Honda Team Asia to MT helmets, how he's adapted to the Boscoscuro compared to the Calyx, and also the adaptation with the Pirelli tyres. He also touched on the disappointment of losing the world title in 2022, but feels that, yeah, 2024 is his best chance, and obviously with the move now secured with MotoGP, he can totally focus in this Moto2 championship fight, in which he is currently, as of time of recording, 18 points off his teammate Sergio Garcia. Now that is a reason what he said to me also, that's why he moved to MT helmets, to have a competitive teammate and ultimately make him faster, and I think that has really shown this year after a difficult 2023 with injury. I suppose the big question is that many will ask around, why did they go for Ogura when Trackhouse and maybe MotoGP wanted to have an American rider and that only could have been Joe Roberts? Well, I think it's pretty clear. You know, Davide Brivio said that the decision for their second rider was only going to be based off of results and performances. It wasn't going to just be a simple passport decision. You know, just because Joe Roberts is American doesn't mean it guaranteed him a seat at Trackhouse. Very much the opposite case. They've looked at Ogura, they've seen his progression, how he's only still 23 years old, and his progression rate through Moto3 and then Moto2 has shown great potential. And I think that's a reason why it's a big blow to Honda, who, as we've mentioned numerous times, they are struggling so much. And yeah, Ogura has basically said to them that the project isn't where it needs to be, and he's left them, and that's a big blow for Honda to lose the next big Japanese rider, of course, as they do have Nakagami still in that setup. And yeah, where does it leave Nakagami? Because there's many reports saying that Somket Chantra, of course Ogura's former teammate at Honda Team Asia in Moto2, will get the nod and get moved up into MotoGP in replacement of Nakagami. So that's a big deal. The Thai market getting a big say in MotoGP next year with Chantra, and I think that there's plenty of positives for that for Honda. They're obviously going to be devastated that Ogura's not going to be their man, and you know, they believed a lot in him. They even let him go to, like I say, MT helmets. They still support him on his leathers. If you look closely at his leathers, he still has HRC on there in this current season. And yeah, for them to lose the next big Japanese talent, it must hurt. But getting Somket Chantra in replacement of Taka Nakagami, that's a move that you can see Idemitsu making, the sponsors, that they want to go down the Thai market, which is a huge market for MotoGP, and let's see if it works for maybe a year or two. But Nakagami I think can hold his head very high in what he has done with Honda. Yeah, he hasn't got any podiums, but he's been a really good rider in terms of feedback for Honda, and this is maybe a sign that Honda are changing their approach in terms of having that real Japanese based side, and they want to go down a different route. But let's see how that plays out with Chantra. Let's focus on Ogura. I think his season so far in Moto2 has proven why so many teams outside of the Honda project were having a look at him, and there's been many options suggested for Ogura. Would he stay in Moto 2? Would he even move Moto 2 teams? But he made it clear, especially to me, that he had a job to do in Moto 2 and he wasn't really worried about the future. Because it was when we get it now and you see the videos of Trackhouse, they've released them today. The deal was signed in Silverstone, and yeah, when speaking to him, when asked what his options were for MotoGP, he just kept smiling at me and saying that I had to wait for the official announcement. And yeah, they had two options if he went up, and obviously that two options would have been Trackhouse and LCR Honda on the Idemitsu side. So yeah, Ogura signed, sealed, and we've got another spot filled on the grid. And it's interesting because Ogura is going to have full spec machinery as he goes into next season. And yeah, a Trackhouse team where him and Raul Fernandez are going to be, of course, supporting the main team of Marco Bezzecchi and Jorge Martin. That's a pretty formidable lineup when you see Aprilia's setup they have there. They've got three new riders in Ogura, Bezzecchi and Martin. And Raul Fernandez being the only experienced Aprilia rider there. So interested to see how Aprilia's approach to trying to stop Ducati is going to work. But I think having Ogura there, you know, Davide Brivio is a man who spots talent, and I'm not saying this just because I'm saying it. When he sees a talent that he loves, he goes and gets it. You know, he helped Valentino Rossi in his early part of his career. He brought to life the Suzuki project, getting Maverick Vinales in there, and then placing Alex Rins, and of course Joan Mir for that project. And look how that played out. I'm not going to say that Ogura is going to win the world title in his first year. That's not what I'm saying. But when Davide Brivio sees something in these riders, and of course the Trackhouse setup have trusted his judgment to make the decision, that is a massive call for them. And they obviously think that Ogura has the talent to do incredible things in MotoGP. Of course, that means that Miguel Oliveira is out of Trackhouse, but that's not to worry for any of Miguel's fans watching. He is going to sign with Pramac Yamaha, and who will be his teammate? Well, we'll cover that in another video, but it looks like it might be Jack Miller. So that is a strong team that Yamaha have on their satellite side going into 2025. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe for more content. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It's all free. You'll never miss a video. And yeah, we'll see you next time for another video.